Hey everybody, it's Greg the Gamer. Welcome back to the channel today. Hey, today we're hopping into Red Dusk, the alternative history mod for Hearts of Iron 4 that basically says, hey, what if in the year 2000 the Soviet Union still existed? Yeah, what if the 1991 Soviet coup d'etat to remove Gorbachev from power had actually succeeded and the Soviet Union still existed? I know, crazy scenario. So today we're going to hop into a new game as the Soviet Union and see if we can bring glory to the Red State. If that sounds good, please consider liking and sharing the video, and if you haven't done so already, consider subbing to the channel as more great Hearts of Iron content will be uploaded here shortly. So without that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this game. When we hop into the game here, we've got a few options for different playable powers here currently in the current build. We've got the Soviet Union, the United States, Soviet Yugoslavia, Iraq, Socialist Republic of Vietnam, and for some reason the Republic of South Africa. So, interesting. But today we're going to be playing as the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union, founder of modern communism, and an example to millions, has overcome some of the greatest challenges. All of them show the world that the Soviet people are willing to fight. Yet none of the wars, purges, industrialization prepared them for the new millennium. After the overthrow of Gorbachev in the August coup of 1991, the Soviet Union has been in a position of constant stagnation, as the military-oriented economy brings the Union closer and closer to economic downfall, and the government seemingly torn apart by factionalism and infighting. The question of the Union's survival seems more and more uncertain.
Union will be pleased to offer amnesty to your wayward vassal.
The Soviet Union? I thought you guys broke up.
Yes, that's what we wanted you to think.
Capitalism.
Okay, the red sun shines. So there's quite a bit of lore here in the mod, and if you want to pause and read this for yourself. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get a few things sorted out here. So, we're led by Gennady Yanev. I don't speak Russian, I'm not even close, so I apologize if I have totally butchered his name. I'm going to butcher a lot of names, so yeah, that's kind of how it's going to be. But we have the consequences of perestroika, not great. We have the memories of the August coup, not great also. We have a stagnating economy. Yeah, I'm seeing a theme here. Our construction is going to be terrible. We have a militarized industry. We have party infighting. And rising separatism. We're going to go ahead and choose the morning after. It has been 83 years since Aurora fired in the Winter Palace, signaling the beginning of the Soviet era, and it has been 9 years since it almost ended. Catastrophe of the Soviet stagnation for the past 20 years culminated in Gorbachev's failed leadership, which in turn created an even bigger reaction that was the August coup of 1991. The fate of the Union hanged in the balance as only leadership of the GKCHP stopped it from falling over the edge. But now, 9 years later, the stagnation is no better than before, except now, there's no more Yeltsins or Gorbachevs to take the blame. Oh dear. Now, you can see we do have quite a few things that we are producing here. There's a lot of stuff here. So, we've got attack helicopters, we've got artillery, rocket artillery, tons of tanks and mechanized units. Yeah, it's a little overwhelming, frankly. Okay, well, currently, construction is going to be a problem. We have a stagnating economy, it's 30% debuff here, but we do have a lot of civilian factories here. We could use more mills, actually, having looked at our production needs, so I'm actually going to go ahead and start building a few mills, I think. I don't think that would be bad. And for our decision tree, we do have a few things here that looks like we're going to have to balance. We got party factionalism here, this mechanic here. So, this is interesting. So we got the conservatives, militarists, reformists, and the KGB. Interesting. So we're going to have to balance the affairs here, and yeah. And then we also have our ability to interfere around the world with different socialist uprisings, including Africa and Asia. So the Cold War is still very much a thing. Okay, well, I've got set up for our army. It did take a while. We do start with a very chunky army. We're currently rocking 1.6 million men in the army, and a heck of a lot of tanks, a heck of a lot of mechanized as well to boot. So interesting. Oh, quite a few options here. The new morning, the new millennium. As the morning breeze of Moscow's cold air fell on Semya's face, he felt as all the joy and the smiles he put up during the last week's celebrations were nothing more than distant memory. Soon, Moscow's electric lamp plant, a building he knew all too well, would be in front of him, and his desk job together with it. Alright, so now we do have the status of the Soviet Union here. We'll have to reassess the state of the Soviet Union now that we are back in control. We will need full report of all departments and the economy, including a report on where the enemies of the state now are. Sounds very ominous. The feared report. The Union undergone many reforms and challenges in both positive and negative forms. It was a tough time, but we marched on. After extensive investigations in the 90s, the enemies of the state have been found and removed, except Mikhail Gorbachev, as he is considered to be no longer to be a threat to the stability of the Union. Tough times ahead. So now we do have a little bit of political power here. We could do a few things here. We could start to interfere in some of the affairs in Africa. Seems like something the Soviet Union would do during the Cold War. So we could send rifles to Africa, to the People's Republic of Angola. And we've got quite a few other options here. We have a lot of rifles, so we might do that. Okay, and Croatian elections. Old man, an older nation. So, yeah, so basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working down the tree and picking our new leader. He is old and he needs a replacement, apparently. So we'll be working our way down and see who the party chairs want to go with. Okay, so we have the economic report in here. The economy has been, as of now, even during the beginning of the Great Patriotic War, is not as bad. Oh, wow. So the capitalists will pay. So interesting. So let's go ahead and choose the specter of militarism as well. It's going to increase our militarist faction increase by 10 as well. All right, so we do have some spies to recruit here, and yeah, interesting pictures that we have here. I guess we'll choose Neo, Bishop Bear, and White Rabbit. All right, so the trial of history here. So a meeting of the High Command. The Soviet Army, no matter how you look at it, it was the only force keeping peace in an ever-fracturing Union, one that was increasingly failing to quell the uprisings and the separatist movements. But despite the best efforts, the constantly liberal reforms of the General Secretary have seen the once mighty Soviet Army reduced to a mere paper tiger. We'll send some Soviet military advisors and send some equipment as well. Wow, there is so much lore. So August 19th, 1991. So a fateful day indeed. All right, so Yanayev's final weeks. Everyone knows that the General Secretary, the chairman of the Soviet Union, are numbered, especially after failing to deliver the prosperity and peace promised to the people after the coup of 1991. But he will not go without a fight. So before the inevitable or the worst happens, our chairman must do the last attempt at improving a situation and that of the motherland. All right, we have his final weeks in hand here. So we've got a couple branches here that we can go ahead and choose. Because right now, we have no factories. We have partial mobilization, but we have 0 factories that we can use due to the massive debuffs to our economy. All right, we're going to be working around the clock. The USSR's economy is currently in the weakest position, and we need to immediately solve this issue. The workforce of the Union shall work harder and longer for the betterment of the country and its industry. Yeah, I'm sure the people will be fine with that. So we have a chance to get some off-map civilian and military factories, which we shouldn't have to do as we are, quote, a superpower, but we have to. More uncertainty in Africa, and looks like, Congo has gone to war with itself. Okay. Yazov protests. Marshal Yazov issued a protest against the General Secretary's decision of defunding the army. In his letter, he stated, "A country without a strong military cannot defend the workers' revolution. As much as he's right, we cannot focus on the military while our people worry about the future. This has triggered a party meeting of all recent actions and current state of the Soviet Union." Yeah. We're going to lose more stability that we don't have. How we don't currently have a civil war is beyond me. Okay, we've completed that, so we've taken a hit, but production cost has gone down a fair amount. So next we need to focus on our administrative reforms. Rebellion in Ethiopia. Another rebellion. Interesting. Is that... Oh, wow. They are having some issues. We've got... so we have the original People's Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. Then we have the Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front. Just other communist. And then we have these... Yeah, they've got some issues here. So I feel like we're witnessing the end of the Soviet Union. But in slow-mo. There is civil wars everywhere. All right, we've completed the administrative reforms for the Union, taken a massive hit to political power. But we're starting to work down some of fixing our bonuses, or rather our debuffs to our country. So, yikes. This freaking guy. Yeah. Yugoslavia, you can do better. So we're going to go ahead and next talk with Krenchov. I'm sure I mispronounced that gentleman's name. As the unit enters the new millennium, we also need advice from our elders and how we should continue to lead the country into the future. So we'll go ahead and increase our faction with the KGB and the conservatives as well. Okay, we've assessed our legacy, so plenty more lore there you can go ahead and check out for yourself. We're going to next make concessions. All right, we've completed making concessions to different factions. And now our General Secretary is going to address the party. CPSU has many issues, perhaps too many even on the list, and even more to list. There are a few key ones that always seem to come up and surface every Congress at our Politburo meetings. So corruption, lack of stability, devastation, some Marxism, Leninism, lack of reforms, etc. So we're going to have a little talk. In 1991, Yanuyev took over as the leader of the Soviet Union in a coup d'etat in order to save our motherland from those that wanted to destroy it and restore the capitalist order. But ever since those fateful days of late August, his promises have failed. The economic growth never came. The people of the Baltics continue to resist and still remain the shadow of our former selves. This great country needs a fresh start, and Yanuyev loves his country and knows that he has to do so. Our secretary is going to resign. End of an era. So the General Secretary has resigned. Destiny awaits the USSR. So extraordinary meeting of the Central Committee. We do have a new leader apparently already. We have Valentin Pavlov here. Has taken over, at least temporarily. Democrat victory in the 2000 election. Interesting. Possibly. I mean, it's not January yet, so we don't have a new president, so I wonder who will replace Danford Quell. The party meeting. It's been several days after Yanuyev resigned as the General Secretary, and the party Congress has begun. Tensions in the hall were high, as many just waited for the opposition to grab the position of the most powerful man in the USSR. So, the next leader of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic is Boris Pugo, obviously, becomes the leader of the Communist Party. Okay, we have another leader, Boris Pugo. Look at his hair, it is glorious. That is a band that has seen many winters. NATO announced its program to arm Poland's military. And Boris Pugo elected as General Secretary of the CPSU. Yes, we do have this whole new tree here for influencing North Korea. Try to bring them into our sphere of influence. As the General Secretary was tirelessly working in document papers, his secretary came in. He soon made his way in front of Pugo and handed him documents folder before rather coldly saying, "A report from the Supreme Court of the USSR." R.I.P. Gorbachev. How are we doing? We need a little of everything, don't we? Not the greatest. Yeah, we're a little behind. Still rocking 1990s aircraft. Okay, there's much to be done. So this is the list. A person that stood beside a window in Pugo's office in the Kremlin asked, "Just get it done." Vladimirovich? I don't know. So we're going to gain some stability here, and we also, oh dear, we've gained the option to start purging our enemies, which, yeah, strikes a Stalinism for sure. Comrades, today I stand before you to address a critical issue threatening the foundation of our party, the insidious infiltration of revisionism, and liberalism within our ranks. We are facing both internal and external, but how can we confront that beyond our borders if the Trojan horse remains within? So long live Comrade Pugo. All right, so we have two different paths we can go ahead and choose now. We can go ahead and start to look at the Politburo, or we can start to look at the army. The Politburo has some members that have been found to be either disloyal scum or just a waste of really valuable space. Wow. We're going to take a massive hit to stability. Manpower, let's see here. Conservative is going to increase, militarist decrease, and reformist decrease. Yeah. All right, we've cleared the Politburo of disloyal members, I guess. All right, we've questioned the army. We have, interesting. So we have Al Gore as the President of America. The men we can trust here. So we're just continuing to build support amongst the factions. After getting 100 influence in the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, we can secure our influence and get them into our sphere of influence. All right, we have the better rifles. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and also get some better anti-tank weaponry. South African Civil War has broken out. You cannot carry out a fundamental change without a certain amount of madness. We're going to go ahead and suppress the liberals next. We do have some more political power here, so let's go ahead and get a chief of the Air Force. The KGB knows the best. Our secret services always knew how to detect traitors and how to deal with them quickly. We can trust them, as they're essential to our mission of fighting reaction. Yeah. A step forward. Pugo knew the time was finally come. All of his enemies and rivals have been cased aside. All the opposition has been silenced, and the party has been united under the banner of Marx and Lenin once again. The only thing that is left is to announce it to the entire world, entire nation and the world. Forward into a new dawn. All right, now we're going to be getting the army purge, apparently. The army has always been a thorn in our side, one that needs to be taken out. We will initiate one of the greatest purges to date. Bye-bye, Marshal Yoso. Did we just give him a medal? Jeez, Pete. The army purge has been completed. Yeah, that's not great. General Secretary Pugo. The time has come to end the fierce fighting that was our power struggle. Pugo will ascend to the position of General Secretary, making his iron grip rule even more solid. Yeah, so a thing just happened in New York. Look at the date. And yeah, there was some pop-ups and everything, but I'm not going to show those as YouTube might get a little grumpy. Okay, well, we've now unlocked the economy tree, so we can actually come over here and we can start to fix our economy, which is not great still. Chemical weapons used in South Africa. Chemical weapons haven't seen usage in modern war since the Vietnam War. Many have expected that the progress made by the UN and Geneva Convention, these weapons wouldn't have been seen anymore. The past few days, okay, so now we can go ahead and start to work on our economic situation here. We have revitalization efforts. We can expand industrial base. We can look at getting more resources, so on and so forth. So all good things. So now we can focus on bettering our military, which is quite out of date. We are the army of the people. No force is greater than the combined force of the Soviet people. So we'll start to be able to work on our military as well as our economy. Invasion of Afghanistan. This morning, American and NATO forces launched an intervention in Afghanistan, escalated the ongoing conflict between the Taliban and the government. The military operation was initiated in response to the growing threat that the Taliban extremism posed to the region and the world, as well as the imminent failure of the civilian government. Indian Parliament. Under attack. Not great. A coup in Yugoslavia. Okay, so now we can start to crack down as we would on separatist groups here. So we're going to start with the Lithuanians. Sorry, guys. The Baltic people have always been a thorn in the side of old mother Soviets, and altogether 2 of the 3 Baltic republics have seceded from us. The third, Lithuania, remains strongly rebellious against our rule. Alright, we've cracked down on Lithuanian nationalism, so now we no longer have a demilitarized border. Let's go ahead and destroy the Chechen rebels. Nothing controversial here as well. Hungary invades Romania. Oh! Ever since the ultra-nationalist MIEP takeover Hungary in 1994, tensions between Hungary's neighbors increased day by day under the country's new nationalist agenda and a military ramp-up. Many wondered if the Hungarian government would actually start a war in Europe. Today, that's been confirmed. Troubling news indeed, boys. Troubling news. Nationalist uprisings in the Soviet Union. What is this? The USSR has reported armed clashes in areas of Lithuania, Western Ukraine, and Chechnya, with armed insurgent groups descending from these areas. I thought I was cracking down on the insurgencies. What is this? Wilno uprising. Frick. Oh, no. Okay, well, they've moved in a little bit here, but that's okay. I think we'll be alright. Yeah, they've taken us by surprise here, but that's okay. Come on, boys. Didn't know I needed to control B to get you guys there, but okay. Nationalist uprising in the Soviet Union. Chechnya. Okay. Now, I thought we already had this all motorized. Apparently we didn't learn our lesson from the Second World War, so I kind of want to wait for the armor, but if we can kind of push through here, that would be good. Join wars. No, I don't really care, Mongolia. Thank you very much. Can we split them? Possibly. Okay. Move through. Push through. Failed uprising in Kyiv. Excellent. Alright, we're pushing through in Chechnya pretty well. Lithuania is starting to be sorted out here. Let's see here. Can we push in and grab Konus? Maybe, maybe, maybe. Maybe, baby. Okay. Yeah, we're putting up pretty good pressure on them. I don't think they really thought this this thing out. Granted, this is currently what we're rocking for templates for armor. So, not too bad. The organization sucks, but they do hit for quite a bit. Defeated Lithuania. Look at that, boys. Okay, so we've got that sorted out. So, yeah. What was that about, Lithuania, huh? Yeah, didn't work out so well for you, did it? Okay, we've addressed our addressed the domestic problems. I think we're missing some characters there. Alright, so let's see here. So we can work our way down the question of religion, continued Sovietization, or rehabilitate Stalin. Let's go ahead and rehabilitate Stalin. Stalin was, and still, a very divisive figure in the politics of the Union. His legacy, being loved or hated, depends on the person you're asking. Yeah. Probably the ones you're asking that like him, well, they didn't get sent to the gulags. Now, we can go ahead and move our way down here. We can go ahead and, if we're going to go in, we're going to go in all the way here. So, we're going to go and choose a great legacy, and we're going to gain the Cult of Stalin, which will help our political power gain, which ain't great. We're going to rename back the cities. Stalin was a great man, and he himself knew this. Yeah, we know of other people like that too, don't we? Stalingrad was named after him. For example, many cities had his name on it, which were changed not too long ago. This is like spitting on his grave. We will not have allowed too long. Alright, well, we're going to be naming a bunch of cities back to Stalin something, so yeah. Democratic Revolution in Hungary. Well, that kind of makes sense. They did have a war. Oh, yeah. Don't worry, guys. It's gonna be fine. This guy is gonna be just fine for your stability. Don't worry. He'll be good for democracy. You can trust me. Alright, now we have the return of Stalingrad. Look at that. We've named Volgograd to Stalingrad. We're going to go ahead and choose the Unbreakable Union of Free Republics here. It's going to renew our ethic policy, and hopefully we do this. We're going to gain stability for the different republics, and so we'll have less breaking away. That's the hope. So I thought I was going to sort out the Balkan situation here, since we already have Lithuania under our thumb again. But for whatever reason, we can't justify a war goal. It's always false. It doesn't quite seem accurate to the Soviet Union, so I don't know what's going on there. Alright, we need to focus on the question of religion next. A new generation of communists. To turn our youth away from being corrupted by religion, we will sponsor youth programs that will cleanse the normal child's brain of religion's destruction and make them accept they are born to be Soviet. And that's what matters the most. Oh my. Okay, now we can say that we've corrected all of our internal problems, whether that's actually true or not. Here we are, the little traitors. Estonia, Latvia, Azerbaijan, and Armenia left the Union during the chaos of the 90s. Their leaders ruled their countries against the will of their people, murdering, arresting, expelling anyone who doesn't agree with their, quote, democracy. I love democracy. The time has finally come that we start our campaign to reintegrate these traitors. The phone call. So they've declined, right? Asked Marshal Kulikov. Yes, Comrade Marshal, it seems as though the population in countries like Armenia and Azerbaijan have expressed their wish to join the Union. The governments have refused, answered Boris Puntkin, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the USSR. Well, politely speaking, it is a shame, but in military terms, I believe their leadership will be more happy. So, wow. Okay, well, we're moving straight towards war here. Ready the war plan Stalin. War plan Stalin. We will act on the orders of General Secretary Pugo and reclaim the breakaway lands for the Union. Stalin was one of our best leaders who defended the motherland during the Great Patriotic War. He deserves to be a name of operation. We shall reclaim and liberate the breakaway states of Mother Russia. War Plan Stalin has been initiated. I guess we just automatically declare war on everyone. Yeah, so we're at war with literally everyone. And start moving in. Soviet invasion of former SSRs. Well, it's not the West concern. Alright, we do have one sorted. Alright. And let's just take care of this. Gobble gobble. Having a hard time if our front line's lining up correctly for some reason. Don't know why. Well, that's sorted. We don't have any resistance, which is kind of weird. Don't know why that is. Alright, the legacy of the Warsaw Pact. When we freed the eastern part of Europe from fascist oppression, the USA created an alliance to dispute our newly acquired place in the world. As a response, we established our own alliance, the Warsaw Pact. So we're going to be bringing that back, apparently. What is old is new again. Do want to probably focus on... It looks like we're going to be going to war more often. So we probably want to focus on fixing some more of our armed forces. The Yugoslav Wars. It's happened. Yugoslavia has shattered into war. Oh, Iraq's done its thing. They're at war with Kuwait again. Interesting. That's why we can't have nice things. And I guess this time the West didn't care to get involved. Communist rebellion in India. Reports are coming in from across India of riots turning to outright revolts as armed groups belonging to various Indian communist groups clash and seize arms from the Indian army. We might have an option here. Looks like we're going to be sending some volunteers to India. Oh, they're going to enjoy that. Okay, our tanks have arrived in India. Let's see if we can give them a little bit of a helping hand for the People's Revolution. Apparently, yes, we can. For whatever reason, our front lines keep breaking. I'm not really sure why. That's pretty darn annoying. Somehow or another, with the mod, we don't have military access, but we send volunteers. So it's creating all sorts of weird stuff. Yeah, fighting in the mountains with armor is not always the best idea. Continuation of the Korean War. Well, looks like Korea's like, nope, we're gonna just go ahead and do that thing. Is anyone... Nobody's helping them. Send volunteers. What happened to America? Dawn of the East Asia Treaty Organization. What the heck? Alright, so our tanks aren't doing jack for whatever reason. Not really sure. Let's see. Maybe not the greatest tanks in the world, but they're being deorged almost immediately. I don't know what that's about. We even have attack helicopter support company. Okay, well there we go. They may have just not been able to have any organization. The Great Asian War. Everything under heaven is in utter chaos. The situation is excellent. Well, I don't know about that. Chinese troops enter Korea. Oh, shit. So, yeah. So, Chinese troops have entered Korea. Global economic crash, Increased tension and eruption of war in Asia has led to a financial crash, whereas, you would expect that. So, ouch. And we need to get some more rubber from other places that aren't so... we do have a global supply chain issue, so we can't actually import anything. Well, we are seemingly making a difference in the Civil War, but, Yeah. We don't currently, I think, have air supremacy. China, North Korea, Allied victory. Oh my. Yeah, so we have 2 Koreas? 2 communist Koreas? Interesting. Looks like the Americans have sent troops as well. Yeah, we're very much outnumbered. Very much outnumbered. Well, that would be why there's literally no armor on this thing, so that's great. The Red Bear's Fist. After many days, weeks, and months of hard work, our once demotivated armed forces stand proud, armed, and ready to serve the motherland. So we're going to gain some organization and recovery. Well, that's great because we're not doing so well against the West currently. China moves to annex Hong Kong and Macau. Yeah, I don't think that's going to go well, China, but, you know, hey, you do you. Yeah, these tanks are terrible. Our tanks are terrible. I think we're just going to go ahead and get the heck out of here. I'm just going to pull all those tanks out. I don't want to lose all those tanks. We're in the hole as it is, and we're no longer in India. Invasion of Taiwan. The Chinese Civil War may have been in a stalemate for many decades, but China's done it. Yikes. The West has got to get involved at some point, right? No, nobody cares, apparently. Hey, Al Gore, yeah, what are you doing, man? Preparing for the inevitable is complete. The Red Bear has awoken. We got attack bonuses on Poland and Romania and Hungary, so yeah. The red sun has fallen over Europe, and we're at war with a lot of people. So let's see if we can get this sorted out. This could be a giant mistake, but hey, why not? Eastern European War. Onwards, comrades. The Soviet invasion of Eastern Europe is underway. I don't think any of these countries have joined NATO yet, so hopefully we will crush them. We do need some fighter coverage here. All right, good enough. We can pierce to Warsaw. That would be good. See if we can get a little encirclement going here. Doesn't quite look like it, but that's okay. We have taken Warsaw. Need some better support equipment. Yeah, Romania's putting up a heck of a struggle. I'll give them that. Are we at war? We are at war with Bulgaria as well. We've almost gotten Poland. Oh, God. Eastern European Alliance. Did NATO get involved? I saw something. I clicked away so quick. Oh, God. Let's move down. Secure here. Okay, Poland has capitulated. Fantastic. Interesting. They must have been the head of the alliance. Yeah, because I didn't capitulate the other nations. Interesting. Nobody else is a major. Alrighty. Well, yeah. So, that happened. And we just vacuumed up all of Eastern Europe, and NATO didn't say a damn thing. And just like that, apparently, we did create some puppet states in those territories, so that's interesting. Bundeswehr coup in Germany. What the hell? While Germany has never officially left its position on the front line of the Cold War, the fall of the Warsaw Pact at least brought a shift in mood, as the Soviet Union seemed relatively distant. W is in office. Oh my. Alright, we've isolated the Czech Republic. Mass student protest in Germany following the unexpected move of the Bundeswehr, seizing power and deposing the Chancellor. Mass protest in Germany. We're gonna reintroduce Comecon. The Council for Mutual Economic Assistance, or Comecon, has a look at how a communist market meant to help each other communist markets. So basically we're going to be helping each other economically in our Warsaw Pact, just like the old days. Okay, we've restarted Comecon, so that's going to be helping our economy. Well, that's the hope anyway. We're going to compromise with the USA. After more than 50 years of tiresome diplomatic battles and proxy wars, the Union almost collapsed from pressure from but we saved it. We won't let that happen again, but it happened because we were hyper-fixated everything towards winning the Cold War and against the Americans. Is it time to bury the hatchet? Maybe it is. It's 2005. Our proposal is rejected, so W did not like the Soviet Union coming to offer peace terms. Yeah, well, that's not unexpected, I suppose. Alright, comrades, well, there you have it. I think I'm going to go ahead and leave the playthrough here. The mod basically goes to about May or June or so of 2007. There's still some more focus tree to go through, but effectively that's where our tech and everything else ends, so I think it's a good place to call it. We have reformed the Soviet Union, brought it back from the verge of collapse, stronger than ever. Don't mind our political power, always a problem. But we brought back the Warsaw Pact, and we have plenty of allies, no longer puppet states, but allies rather, on our western front here. So what was old is new again. This Cold War is still very much cold, though it did heat up a little bit earlier. But yeah, I've enjoyed this. It's much more of a kind of Soviet economic political simulator version of a HOI4 mod. But hey, if you want to really get deep into Soviet politics and the machinations of the party state, hey, check out the mod. The link will be in the description below. I did have a fun time playing this, and the world did get into some weird stuff, including a Chinese war and a German military coup. So, yeah, no. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please consider liking, subbing, and sharing the video as it continues to help our channel grow. We're getting very close to 1,000 subs, and I could have done it without you guys. Anyways, hey, this has been Greg the Gamer. I hope you've enjoyed this playthrough, and I will be back with you very soon. Take care, guys. Bye.